Well, there you are. Well, hello. Today is Thursday, March 18th. We do have a couple birthdays today. Today is Tina Tedder's birthday. So, Tina, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tina. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. It's also Janet Geck's birthday. I think that's how she pronounces her last name. It's Gueck, but I think it's Geck. That's how you pronounce that. I hope I'm not messing your name up, Janet. I'm trying my very best. But that doesn't mean you won't get a song, even though I messed up your last name probably, but I'm still going to sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Janet. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Kind of hit a little high note there for a minute, didn't I? As you saw, Denise and I were out and about today. She called me up last night, actually. She's having a problem with a little bit of an oil leak in her car. And so we wanted to bring it to our mechanic, which we call him our mechanic, mechanical man over on Gratiot, north of Metro Parkway. Excellent. That would be what? Clinton Township, Michigan. Excellent, excellent mechanic. We told him he can never retire because I don't know where we would go. He is so honest. When you go in there and you can say, well, you know, I think I need a brake job, and he'll look at it and he'll say, no, you didn't need a brake job. You just needed to have one of your ribs trimmed or turned or whatever. And then he doesn't charge you for a full brake job. Most places was you tell them you need a brake job, they're going to give you a whole new set of brakes. Very honest mechanic. But anyway, so she had called me last night and asked me if I would pick her up from when she dropped it off. And I go, yeah, okay. So then I have a slow leak in one of my tires in my car. And it causes some problems where my air goes out of my tire a little bit too quickly. Denise had texted me and told me I'm leaving now to drop the car off. I said, okay. So I got my shoes on, got my wallet and all that. I get outside and start up my car and it says low tire pressure. So I had to get my man, Jim, to put, because we have an air compressor in the garage, to put some air in the tires. I love Jim. I love him, love him, love him. But he is not the fastest horse in the stable. He moves very slowly, not quickly, moves very slowly. He has his own pace. And when we got out there, the compressor wouldn't start because it was cold, because it's been cold here in Michigan. Obviously, it's winter until Saturday when it's spring. But, and the weather's not going to miraculously turn warm, but, you know, in your mind it might. But anyway, we had to get a heater on the air compressor while we could get that going. And so I had to text Denise, and she said, well, that's okay. He had took it for a test drive anyhow, so it was no big deal. And then Jim put the air in, and I got it. But then I got to thinking, years ago when I was working, this had to have been back, my car is a 2010 Ford Fusion. And I've had that car for, it'll be 11 years in August. Coming up in August, it'll be 11 years. And when I worked from 2010 to 2012, I averaged about 60 miles a day round trip on my car driving. And I worked 5 days a week. I'm not going to do all the whole math. But from 2012, I wish I would have put down the mileage from how many miles I had in 2012. Because when I bought it, the speedometer was like on 2 or 3 miles. It wasn't hardly anything. But I just got an oil change the other day, and my speedometer reads that I have 67,000 miles in almost 11 years. In 2 of those years, I was driving 60 miles, like round trip every day. So who's to know? I probably have only put on maybe 4,000 or 5,000 miles. That shows you how little I drive. But anyway, back in the winter, just before I retired, would have been 2011, because I retired in the summer of 2012. Was it 12? No, it wasn't 2012 because I retired in the summer of 2013. So in the the winter of 2012, I've told this story before, but I was coming up to my street to turn, and I went to turn, and my car just decided, no, I don't want to turn here. We're going to keep going straight. Thankfully, there was a gas line next to the stop sign, and for some reason my car knew, don't hit the gas line, because there's like a pole that sticks out of the ground that's like for the gas for the neighborhood. I hit the stop sign. It completely took the stop sign out. It was like I said, in the winter, there was a lot of snow and ice. I had no idea where the stop sign went. It was gone. It was just gone. And it obviously did some damage to the front left side of my car on the driver's side. So, and my cell phone was dead. So I went home and called the police and reported myself. Not that I'm such an honest person, but I like to think I'm an honest person. But the main reason was at the corner of my street, one block over before you get to another block, is a school, an elementary school. And I was just concerned for the safety of the kids coming home from school, and I wanted to get the stop sign replaced as quickly as possible. So I called the police, and I went back, I drove back. You know, like, they couldn't believe it when I called. You know, how did you see this accident? Well, I'm the one that was involved. And you're calling to report yourself? Yes, I am. Well, where do you live? And I go, well, I'll just drive back up and meet him at the place where I was, because I can't find the stop sign. I want to, you know, see what's going to go on. And so they said, okay, you know, like, we got a nut on the other end of the line. She's turning herself in. But, so I went and I parked and I waited, and then I saw the police car coming. And I thought to myself, you better slow down. You better slow down. And you know what? He didn't slow down. And when he went to make the turn, he hit the same patch of ice as I had hit. But I saw him coming and backed up real quick, which was probably a mistake on my part. I should have just let him hit me, because then he would have paid for the damage to my car. But once again, honest person, I don't want to do that. So I backed up, and where the stop sign would have been, he went right up there too. And so he backed up, parked very slowly, got out of his car, walked up to me, and I rolled my window down, and he said, were you the one that reported the incident? And I go, yes, that was me. And he said, so you took the corner a little fast? And I go, I didn't think I did, but you know, I think I did, probably. I took the stop sign out, so obviously I wasn't in control of my vehicle. And then he just stood there for a minute, and he said, well, I obviously can't give you a ticket, because I think I hit the same patch of ice. And I go, yeah, but I feel bad, I can't find the stop sign. And so he says, well, we'll take care of that right now. So he went and he looked. It had gone into the shrubs of the house that was on the corner, like behind the shrubs. He had to go around. I mean, it flew over the top of the shrubs and was behind the shrubs. That's why we couldn't find it. So he dragged it back, and he just kind of set it there, because you couldn't put it back in the ground. And he said, well, I have to give you a citation. I'm just gonna give you a warning. I'm not gonna give you a ticket. He said, but I have to turn it into the lighting division, or where it does the street signs and the lights and stuff like that, the street lights. And they'll probably send you a bill to replace the stop sign. So I said, I completely understand, and so here's my driver's license. He took all the information down. And I never got a ticket, and I never got a thing from the lighting commission. They just thought, which shows honesty pays off. It really does. But my family, to this day, 9 years later, every time we drop by, they go, oh, there's Mom's stop sign. But back to the tire, I think that I probably did something to the rim of my tire at that point and bent it for some reason. And so therefore, every time I do rotate my tires, so I just think it was a coincidence, but it was what made me think about it today, because the tire that was low for the low tire pressure was the one that was on the front driver's side, left side of the car, and that's the side where I hit the stop sign. And so I do think that I probably just need a rim, and so that's what made me think of that. But you would have thought, because I had brand new tires. I bought brand new tires last year. Was it last year? Yeah, that's another thing that got me upset, because Jim knew he was going to get a new car. We knew he was going to get a new truck, but he kept saying, well, I need new tires, I need new tires. And so we got new tires, and on the truck, I think they cost, it was close to $1,000 for these tires. And then 2 months later, totaled his truck out. $1,000 down the drain. They say they gave us a little credit for that on the truck and the payoff of it, but I don't know. I don't believe that. But anyway, so Jim put the air in the tires, and then we went and I picked Denise up, and we had to stop by her friend's house because she was dropping something off to her. She wasn't home, so she just left it in the door. And then she wanted to pick something up at Hobby Lobby. So we went in there, wore our masks. As you saw in the car, we have our masks. I've had both of my doses. Denise has only had the one. I had the Moderna. Denise has got the Pfizer, so she goes 3 weeks from this past Monday because she got her first shot on Monday. So we're still being cautious, and you know, it's so close. It just seems like we're so close, and as much as we want to rush things along, there's so many things in life we want to rush along. You know, like when we were younger, we wanted to get older faster. You know, when you were a preteen, you wanted to be a teen, and when you were a teen, you wanted to be an adult, and when you were an adult, you wanted to get into your 20s to get a house, and then you wanted to have kids, and then at a certain point, you wanted your kids to grow up and be good human beings, good adults, and then you wanted to have your grandkids, and then, you know, like at a blink of an eye, it's like your life has just gone by, and a lot of times you just kind of rushed it along. You really did rush it along. And as much as the pandemic really put us at a standstill, I think that it was, like I told you, I always like to look for the good in everything. And I think the good in it was that we were able to slow down a little bit too long. I'll admit, a little bit too long. But we were able to slow down and just appreciate all the things we have in our life. We got to spend more time with our family. We got to reacquaint ourselves with our family. A lot of us did it through Zoom. Jim and I did it just from being together all the time, because we're not all together. Well, we aren't all together, that's true. But we weren't together all the time before that, because Jim always went to the gym. Not that he did exercises, he just did the swimming and the sauna and stuff like that. But Jim always went to that. He went out to eat to restaurants with his friends. He went to his sportsman's club. He shot on leagues for his archery and for his black powder. He had a very social. I went shopping a lot. I went to church. I had my family dinners every week, and it was just such a time that I was rushing things along so long, and then I realized these are the important things in my life, and I'm going to so much more appreciate them in the long run, because it just gave us a whole new understanding. So I know that we need to get back to our normal life as quick as we can. I understand that, but we need to just relax, and I think that since I made the decision, and I know I keep preaching on this, but I just can't begin to tell you how much more relaxed I am as far as not worrying about losing my weight. I want to lose my weight. Don't get me wrong. I want to lose my weight, but what's the hurry? I mean, I don't want to hurry my life along. I just don't. I know I still got time. Nobody knows exactly how much time they have left, but I still have time to live my life. And I'm not going to waste the last years of my life worrying about every little piece of food I put in my mouth and how I'm going to lose weight and what the scale says each week. Now that I'm just decided that, you know, like I'm going to do my very best. I'm going to do the best that I can do to lose my weight, to eat the healthiest I can, but not stress, because I've been stressing too much lately, and it's just not worth it. So that's my plan for now. It's just chillax, dude. Chillax. What's that? Oh no, one of my favorite. Finding Nemo is my favorite cartoon movie. And you think I would remember his name, because I can't remember his name. He's one of my favorite characters, other than for a clownfish, he's not very funny. That's my favorite line. I say that all the time, almost to the point that my sister Denise got me a keychain with the Nemo on it, because I always say that, for a clownfish, he's not very funny. But the tortoise that's just, like, hey, dude, just take it slow, And that's how I feel right now. I just feel like that. I just feel like him. And it's like right here on the tip of my brain, and it's working its way down, but it can't come out my mouth, because I know what his name is. And it just bugs me. He's one of my favorite characters in the movie, so how can I cannot remember his name? Sparks? Spurks? Splurks? Spitch? I'm going to put it right here, because I'm going to look it up. It just annoys me. But anyway, like I said, and then when I was looking, Jim likes this particular kind of deodorant called Sure, S-U-R-E, but he only likes it in an aerosol spray. He doesn't like it in the sticks or the roll-ons or anything like that. And they don't carry it at Kroger's anymore. So I went to Target and Rite Aid and Walgreens and CVS, and nobody had it. But when I went into Rite Aid, I saw a girl, well, she's a woman, but I always think of her as a girl because she could be my child. She's that young. Working at the Rite Aid that I used to work with when I retired back in 2013. And I just saw her and I said, Deanna? And she said, Sandy? She said, oh my gosh. She said, wasn't sure it was you, you know. I said, well, I have lost almost 95 pounds. And she said, I didn't want to say that, but I was thinking, she looks a lot like somebody I know, but she's too thin. That was my compliment for the day. Not that she didn't remember me, but she did remember me, but she just gave me such a compliment that, you know, like, which, once again, it was just, I've come a long way, and I got to appreciate that fact, and take my time. I don't need to make any decisions right now, and I need to relax, but I can't wait too long. So it just all plays in my mind. It just plays in my mind, and I don't know where I'm going from there. But anyway, so I've had a good day. Oh, and just to let you know that my my reaction to the vaccine yesterday, I had a low-grade temperature for most of the day. It never got over 101 because I took my temperature too much. I am a hypochondriac after all. But my arm is not the least bit sore today. The fever went away probably about, I would say 6 o'clock, which would have been about 30 hours after I got the shot. I never had any nausea or diarrhea or anything like that. I did have the chills, and but that was during the night, and then I had the fever most of the day. And I didn't take anything. I am not taking a pill type of person. I take my prescribed medications that I need to take in the morning, but I very rarely take like Tylenol or aspirin or anything like that. That's just who I am. I just don't. I don't like taking medication. So for me to get the vaccine, that was like saying how much I want to get back to normal because not that I've ever been normal. We know that, but you know, as normal as I can be. So, but if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, and share it if you think somebody might like to see it. As always, stay safe. Don't rush it. Still wear your masks. Wash your hands. Try to be as socially distant as you can. And soon enough, summer. This summer is going to be. It's summertime, 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 summertime. That didn't sound good. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.